Hey, what is up, YouTube? My name is UG Player. Now, if you guys read the title or looked at the thumbnail, yes, my grandpa has passed away. Now, one thing I want to say before I get into this commentary is I'm not going to try to go white boy 7th Street on you guys. Well, no offense, white boy, if you do happen to see this video, but you know how he can get to crying and stuff like that. But I'm not going to I'm trying my hardest not to cry. But basically, in this commentary, if you guys are interested, I'm just going to share with you guys, some of the things that me and my grandpa did before he passed away. Just throughout my life, all the memories that I can, try to give you guys about him and me, basically. So, one of the first memories that I have about me and my grandpa is one time when I was real little. I was real scared. Now, this is the same house that I was talking to you guys about in the second episode of Is It True? The episode when I said when I said me and my big brother seen a ghost. This is the house that we're in, even though the video is fake, but this is in the same setting pretty much. But about the house really quick. It's very old. It's been probably way older than me by at least 100 years, maybe longer. But the house is very old, and by the way, they're old. Well, my grandpa and my grandma's old. My grandpa was 92 or 93 before he passed away. But yeah, one thing about the house is like at the dark time, well, when it get dark, they are very old-fashioned, so they make sure everything in the house is cut off. When I say everything, I mean everything. Like, the only thing that's probably still on is their alarm clock or their house phones. That's probably the still things that's only on. So it's a pretty big house, not that big, but not that small. It's a medium-sized house, has a basement, and in the basement is where I spent most of my time. That's where I slept when I came to hang out with him or stay the night. I slept downstairs in the basement. Now, in the basement has another room back there, and that was basically my room. That's where I slept. That's where I played the game. That's where I did all my business. Now, it was one night I was real scared, and I was so freaking scared of this house. My grandpa used to always tell me stories about how this guy, I forgot what his name was, but he said there was a guy who stayed in this house. He had a wife and he killed her, and he cut her head off and he put it in the back room where the heater was at. And that was one thing that always scared me about that house. And he was a good storyteller. That's one thing I can say about him. Thinking back about all the memories, excuse me, that's just one thing that popped up. But anyways, I was so scared because he used to always try to scare me. He knew how big of a scaredy cat I was. But yeah, so I was really scared this certain night, and I asked him. I went upstairs and I asked him, can I sleep with him? Now, he said yeah, but I didn't really want to get into bed with him, so he has a chair that's right next to his bed. I sat in that chair for a couple minutes, and while I was in that chair, it was all about like 9:30, probably, yeah, 9:30, 10 o'clock. Now, if you guys are familiar with wrestling, he introduced me to wrestling. Now, if you guys are familiar with wrestling, you know that it comes on at night, and we both sat there and watched wrestling until I fell asleep. When I was getting a little bit drowsy, I laid on the bed with him. Now, this is one thing about me. If you guys are not familiar, just another fun fact is that from my age, from 8 to like 4 to up until probably 11 or 12, I was a huge WWE fan. When I say huge, I mean huge. I was so in love with WWE, and it was all because of my grandpa. That first night that I stayed the night with him and watched that WWE with him. But I think it was like Monday Night Raw or Friday Night. No, it was Monday Night Raw because John Cena was on it. John Cena, I can't remember who John Cena was going against, but this was the old days when he used to when he used to pump up his sneakers. Yeah, if you guys are familiar with that. But yeah, we was watching WWE together, and I fell asleep in his bed. And the weird thing about this is that I was a big pee baby. I peed in the bed a lot, maybe every night. I don't know, but I think I peed in his. Yeah, I peed in his bed, and he wasn't really all that mad about it. But he did make me clean it up, and he still let me sleep in the bed a couple times after that. But he would always stress me about going to the bathroom before I go to sleep. But he was a really nice guy too. He was really fun to be around. He had so many people, like. He has over 1,000. I'm giving a good estimate of over 1,000 people that he knew, and that knew people that knew him and always had a good time about him. With him. And his nickname was Booster or Goat. That's what they called him. That's what he was called growing up. And people used to always call him Booster. My mom and on my side of the family, we always used to call him the Goat. My mom calls him the Goat. But anyways. That's one of my favorite memories about him, you know, getting introduced into WWE. Another one of my favorite memories is he told me this riddle. He was like, my nickname is Man. That's what my dad's side of the family called me. And he's my grandpa on my dad's side of the family. So he was like, Man, what's the one of the little riddles that you guys are saying that you're cute? And I told him, I was like, Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a bucket of water or whatever. And he told me one. He was like, okay, this is what we used to use when we were growing up in school. And keep in mind, he was born in 1920. So he said the riddle was like, Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife but couldn't keep her. Put her in a wishing well, and there he kept her very well. And to this day, it's one of my favorite riddles or poems or whatever you guys want to call it. You know, that's one thing that I always remember about my grandpa. And he was like he was fun. For him to be as old as he was so fun. I wish I could have spent more time with him. I regret, look, never mind, I'll say that later on, but while we're 6 minutes into the video, now this is going to be a long video. If you guys are still interested, thank you guys for watching, you know, and if you're fed up, I guess you can say, if you're tired of hearing me sound a little bit, you know, dull or whatever, thank you guys for watching. I understand, I know where you're coming from, but for those of you guys that still are going to watch, I'm pretty sure there's going to be at least, I don't want to go over 10 more minutes with the video, but you know, this is just something that I can always, you know, just take a look back at when I'm feeling down or something like that, to just reboost my memories. So this video wasn't really for you guys. It's kind of for me. I wasn't going to make it private because I thought you guys would be interested in, you know, some of my memories with my grandpa. But yeah, so another memory that I loved, one thing that I also loved about it, about the basement, yeah, it was basement. Me and my big brother stayed in the basement all the time. He used to come down the stairs and we used to be talking or whatever, having fun. Me and my big brother had so much fun together, but we'll be having fun, and out of nowhere he'd come and bang his cane on the staircase and scare the mess out of us. I swear, he did this at least 20 times, man. He did it. Bang! He was from Mississippi too. He's from Mississippi, and he has like a Mississippi accent. And he's like, bang, bang, and like, we were so scared, and he'd just sit there and start laughing. He would be cracking up, tears coming to his eyes, man. Well, I just hold on real quick, guys. I don't wanna. But yeah, he was cracking. He'd crack up, tears would come to his eyes, and it was some of the goodest moments that I had in my life. Excuse me. But yeah, that was another good memories. A couple good memories that I had with him. Another good memory one more thing that I loved about him is he was so strict. Now, yes, guys, I told you he grew up in a different age than us, basically a different. Well, I don't want to say century, but it doesn't seem like a century. He was almost 100 years old, but he grew up in the early 1900s. So he was very old fashioned. You know, he grew up a different kind of way than what we did. Now, he used to always pressure me about when I wash my face. He used to always pressure me about washing my face behind my ears because there was so much dirt behind there. He made sure I always washed inside of my ears and on the outside of my ears. I'm pretty sure you guys really don't care about that, but you know, that was just something else that I loved about him. He was so strict, and then every time I came out the bathroom, he asked me, like, we'll sit at the dinner table, and he was like, did you wash your hands, man? I was like, no, and then he'd make me go wash my hands, and he used to always pressure me so much about washing my hands before I got to the dinner table, and he used to be so upset when I did not wash my hands. He was like, that's just so nasty, and it was just a good memory that I had with him. You know, I used to always chill in this room with him. I remember I used to go in there when I was bored or something, when I was visiting my grandpa and my grandma. When I went over there with them, I used to sit at the edge of his bed, and he had one of those old telephones. You know, you put your finger in it and you wind it around. I might be showing you guys a picture of right now, I don't know, but you wind it around, and that's how you dial the number or something like that. And I used to always just sit there and play with that phone for like 30 minutes straight and just tamper with it, and like, this is what you get, this is what y'all used before they had these kind of phones. And he was like, yeah, it was better than these phones in my opinion. Well, he was like, yeah, it's better than with things we got now. But yeah, that was just something else that I liked about it. And then he was, oh yeah, I need to mention this. He fought in World War II, and he used to always tell me stories about him fighting in World War II. And one of my favorite stories he told me is that he got shot in the butt like I think he said it was like one of the last times that he was, well, some of the last moments that he fought in World War II, he got shot in the butt and he had to come home. And I don't know what was so funny about that, but you know, when we were kids, we had a very, very high, well, low sense of humor. I don't know if it's high or low, but you know, well, I laughed at things that probably weren't the funniest. But he told me he got shot in the butt, and I remember just sitting there cracking up, you know, just because he told me he got shot in the butt and had to get sent home. I asked him. I mean, he asked me that I want to see the mark, and I was like, no, 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 no. And that was like a big nasty picture that popped up on my head. A wrinkly old butt with a bullet wound in it. It's nasty. But yeah, and we're getting 10 minutes into the video. You know what, guys? I don't want to just sit here and, you know, well, I don't know. Maybe, no. I'll end the video right here. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the little couple of memories that I had about my grandpa with you guys. Well, share my memories about with my grandpa about you guys. That's not it. It's a whole bunch more. I just don't want to keep you guys here all day. You guys probably want to go see KY Speedy or White Boy 7th Street or H2O Delirious or something like that. So I want to give a big thanks to all you guys that took your time out of your day to watch this video with me. You know. And one thing really quick, I did not make this video to get any kind of I don't want you guys to feel sorry for me, I guess. So, you know, you do not have to tell me, like, oh, I'm so sorry that you're sorry for your past, Juicy. You know, if you guys enjoyed the video, you still can tell me, nice vid, Juicy. I really enjoyed the commentary. I really, really do not want you guys to think that I made this video just to get your, you know, support or, hold on, let me rephrase it. I didn't make this video just to get views on it, just for you guys to come listen to my sob story. I really wanted to just make this video for myself and look back at this video anytime I'm thinking about my grandpa or anything like that, just to kind of refresh my memories about him. But thank you guys for watching. It's been Juicy Player, and I'll see you guys later. R.I.P Grandpa.